Your life is only as strong as the value you place on yourself. Every choice you make, every habit you form, and every relationship you allow into your life begins with one thing: how much you truly respect and believe in yourself. And most people spend their entire lives looking for approval, validation, or success outside of themselves, thinking that happiness or achievement will come from somewhere else. The truth is, real transformation starts within. If you do not love yourself enough to commit to your growth, to set boundaries, to take control of your time and energy, then no opportunity, no mentor, and no amount of luck will give you the life you deserve. When you choose to value yourself, everything changes. You stop tolerating situations, people, and habits that hold you back. You stop accepting mediocrity and start demanding better from your life. Loving yourself is not about ego or pride. It is about recognizing your full potential and refusing to settle for anything that does not align with it. It is about showing up for yourself consistently, making disciplined choices, and refusing to let external circumstances or opinions dictate your path. Every moment you hesitate, every choice to put your growth second, delays your success. But when you decide to prioritize yourself, everything shifts. Your mindset sharpens, your energy multiplies, your clarity grows. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to build habits that push you forward, even on days when motivation is low. You start to protect your time, your health, and your dreams because you recognize that your future self is worth the effort you invest today. This is not a call to comfort or to easy living. It is a call to rise, to take ownership, and to demand excellence from yourself. It is a call to honor your potential and refuse to settle for anything less than the life you were meant to live. Every choice you make, every moment you spend, and every boundary you set is a reflection of how much you believe in yourself. The journey to leveling up begins with this recognition that you are worth the effort, the discipline, and the sacrifices required to become extraordinary. If you are ready to stop shrinking, stop apologizing for your ambitions, and stop waiting for life to hand you permission, then this is your moment. This is the moment to commit to your growth, to love yourself enough to push past fear, and to take deliberate action every single day toward the person you are capable of becoming. The life you desire is not out there waiting for you. It is within you, waiting to be claimed. Chapter 1, the foundation, self-love, is the beginning of growth. There comes a point in life when you realize that the way forward starts with you. Not with someone else's approval, not with what others say you should be, but with the decision to respect yourself enough to grow. Self-love is not a soft idea. It's not about pampering or escaping responsibility. Real self-love is about building the strength to rise. Even when life has been unfair, even when you feel like you've been left behind, it is the foundation for every change, every improvement, every success you'll ever create. When you care about yourself deeply, you stop accepting situations that keep you small. You stop chasing after people who don't value you. You stop wasting time in places that don't feed your future. You start saying yes to progress, yes to better health, yes to discipline, yes to the kind of life that makes you proud when you look in the mirror. That is what it means to love yourself enough to level up. It means valuing your future so much that you no longer make choices that harm it. Too many people wait for someone else to give them permission to grow. They wait for applause, for someone to validate their worth, for a sign that now is the time. But growth doesn't work that way. The world won't knock on your door and say, "It's time to rise." You have to decide that for yourself. You have to believe that your life matters enough to deserve more than the bare minimum. You have to believe that you are worth the effort it takes to improve, worth the work it takes to break old patterns, worth the energy it takes to build something stronger. The truth is, self-love is the root of discipline. When you love yourself, you no longer sabotage your goals by giving in to excuses. You no longer eat food that steals your energy, spend money that steals your security, or waste hours that steal your dreams. You make better choices, not because someone is watching, but because you know you're worth it. You start setting standards that protect your energy, your focus, and your peace. That is how leveling up begins, by refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Every person alive has habits. Some habits destroy, others build. If you love yourself, you choose the habits that build you. You wake up a little earlier to learn something new. You push yourself to move your body so you can feel alive and strong. You read books that challenge your thinking instead of scrolling endlessly on a phone that keeps you stuck. Each choice may feel small in the moment, but over time, those choices stack into a life that looks completely different. And yes, self-love means saying no to the distractions that steal your attention. No to the people who drain your spirit. No to the version of yourself that keeps procrastinating, keeps complaining, keeps wishing without working. Saying no is not rejection. It is protection. It is saying, I will not trade my future for temporary comfort. I will not exchange my peace for constant chaos. I will not give away my dreams just to stay liked by people who don't want me to grow. The world will always test your self-love. It will send challenges, temptations, and setbacks. But every time you respond with discipline, every time you choose progress over excuses, you prove to yourself that you are serious. And that's when life starts to change, because self-love without action is just words. Real self-love shows up in what you do daily, in how you treat your body, in how you use your time, in how you handle your money, in the standards you set for your relationships. Sometimes loving yourself means walking away from an environment that holds you down, walking away from conversations that keep you stuck in negativity, walking away from people who don't want to grow. That doesn't mean you hate them. It means you respect yourself enough not to let their choices become your cage. When you create distance from what harms you, you create space for what heals you. And in that space, new opportunities show up, new people show up, a new life begins to unfold. But none of this works if you don't believe you deserve better. If you don't believe you are capable of better. You cannot level up if deep down you think success belongs to someone else, but not to you. Self-love is the belief that you belong in the room, that you deserve a seat at the table, that your future is as important as anyone else's. It's the quiet decision you make when no one is watching, when you're tired, when you're tempted to give in. It's the belief that even when progress feels slow, you're still moving, you're still building, you're still becoming the person you were meant to be. And the best part about leveling up is that it never ends. There is always another level of strength, another level of wisdom, another level of peace, another level of success. You don't level up once and stop. You keep rising because you owe it to yourself. You keep rising because life is short and wasting it is the ultimate failure. You keep rising because when you look back one day, you want to be proud, not regretful. So love yourself enough to set higher standards. Love yourself enough to do the hard work. Love yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve you. Love yourself enough to keep building when it's not easy. Love yourself enough to keep climbing, to keep learning, to keep growing. Because the truth is, nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else can decide what you're worth. That power belongs to you. And once you decide you're worth it, once you decide you deserve more, that's when everything begins to change. Chapter 2, stop settling for less than you deserve. Many people go through life quietly accepting less than they deserve. They settle for jobs that drain them, relationships that weigh them down, and routines that keep them stagnant. It isn't always obvious at first. Sometimes it's subtle. A comment from a boss that undermines their confidence. A friend who always takes but never gives. A partner who doesn't value their time or effort. Over time, these small compromises add up. And before they know it, they've built a life that feels comfortable in its misery. Settling becomes normal, and ambition starts to feel like a luxury they can't afford. Stopping that pattern starts with awareness. You have to look at your life honestly and identify where you've allowed yourself to accept less. It can be uncomfortable, even painful. You might notice relationships that are toxic, habits that are limiting, or career choices that are leaving you frustrated. Confronting these truths isn't easy, but it's necessary. Growth begins with truth. You cannot improve what you refuse to see. Once you see it, the next step is action. Settling is a habit, and habits can be changed. Choosing not to settle means you make intentional decisions that align with your value. It means refusing to accept opportunities, relationships, or situations that do not respect your time, your effort, or your potential. It means understanding that discomfort in the short term is far more productive than regret in the long term. Every time you say yes to something beneath your standard, you are teaching yourself that you are not worth more. Every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you are reinforcing your worth. Many people struggle because they confuse comfort with security. They think that because something is familiar or predictable, it is safe. But safety without growth is a trap. Settling might feel easier, but it costs more than most. Realize, right? It costs energy, it costs confidence, it costs opportunities, and it costs potential. Choosing to rise above settling is about prioritizing your long-term success over temporary comfort. It's about understanding that your dreams are not negotiable and that your future is worth the effort to fight for. Stopping the habit of settling also requires building courage. Courage to speak up, courage to step away, courage to demand more from yourself and from life. It requires inner strength to say, I will not accept less than I am capable of achieving. Life will often test that courage. People will question your choices. They might even try to pull you back into patterns of compromise. But each time you stay true to your standard, each time you choose not to settle, you reinforce your self-respect and your determination. Part of stopping the settling habit is learning to set boundaries. Boundaries define what is acceptable and what is not. They protect your energy, your focus, and your dreams. Without boundaries, you leave yourself vulnerable to distractions, negativity, and wasted time. Saying no is not selfish. It is necessary. It is a declaration that your time, effort, and energy are valuable, and that you will invest them where they matter most. Many people underestimate the power of environment in this process. If you are surrounded by people who are comfortable with mediocrity, who have low expectations for themselves, or who don't respect growth, you are more likely to settle too. That's why it's critical to evaluate your relationships, your routines, and the influences around you. When you surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and respect your worth, it becomes easier to hold your standards and refuse to settle. Another challenge is dealing with fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These emotions often keep people trapped in settling. But fear is not a reason to stay stagnant, it is a reason to act. Recognizing that the discomfort of change is temporary and the regret of stagnation is permanent is a mindset that separates those who grow from those who remain stuck. Each step you take toward refusing to settle builds resilience, confidence, and clarity. It shows you that you are capable of more than you imagined. The process of refusing to settle is not just external, it is internal. You must align your beliefs with your actions. If you tell yourself you deserve better, but continue tolerating less, nothing changes. Growth demands that your beliefs, your standards, and your actions all move together. You reinforce your self-love by refusing to accept mediocrity in every area of your life. You honor your potential by choosing paths that lead to growth, purpose, and fulfillment. Ultimately, refusing to settle is a statement of self-respect. It is proof that you value your time, your talent, and your life. It is a commitment to yourself that you will pursue excellence, even when it is uncomfortable. Every time you refuse to settle, you are leveling up. Every decision that aligns with your value moves you closer to the life you are capable of creating. This is how people transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones, not through luck, not through shortcuts, but by refusing to accept anything less than what they know they are capable of achieving. Chapter 3. Build standards that protect your value. Life moves fast, and if you don't define what you will accept, the world will define it for you. Building standards is not about pride or arrogance. It's about clarity, self-respect, and protecting what you are trying to create in your life. Standards are the rules you set for yourself and the boundaries you uphold so that your energy, your focus, and your growth are never compromised. Without them, it is easy to get pulled into situations, habits, or relationships that drain you instead of lift you. To protect your value, you have to know what that value is. Every person has unique abilities, talents, and potential. Recognizing your own worth is the first step in protecting it. When you understand the skills, time, and energy you bring to the table, you begin to understand why it's critical to build standards around them. You begin to recognize what is acceptable and what isn't. Without this recognition, you leave yourself vulnerable to people and situations that will take from you without giving anything back. Building standards is also about protecting your future. Every decision you make, every person you engage with, and every opportunity you accept shapes the life you are going to live. Standards ensure that your choices align with the life you want. They serve as a filter, helping you distinguish between what adds value and what subtracts value. When you make decisions that honor your standards, you are not just saying yes to growth, you are saying no to distractions, time wasters, and negativity. Many people struggle because they allow their circumstances to lower their standards. They accept subpar treatment because they think it is all they can get. They accept poor work environments, relationships that drain them, or routines that limit their potential. But when you build and maintain strong standards, you refuse to let the environment dictate your value. You create a life where respect, focus, and growth are not negotiable. You make it clear to yourself and to others that you are committed to the life you are capable of living. Standards also act as a measure of discipline. They require you to say no, to delay gratification, and to consistently act in ways that support your long-term goals. Discipline is the backbone of standards because it allows you to enforce them consistently, even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Every time you adhere to your standards, you strengthen your self-respect and reinforce your personal integrity. Another critical element of building standards is consistency. Standards are not temporary rules that apply only when convenient. They are consistent behaviors and choices that reflect who you are and what you value. This consistency sends a powerful message to yourself and to the world that you are serious about your growth, your potential, and your future. When you act consistently according to your standards, you create trust with yourself. You show yourself that you can be relied upon to make choices that serve your best interests. Part of building standards is understanding that not everyone will agree with them. Some people will resist, some will criticize, and some may even walk away. This is not a reflection of your worth. In fact, maintaining your standards often filters out people in situations that are not aligned with your growth. Those who remain in your life and respect your standards are the ones who add real value. Those who resist or criticize are revealing what they truly prioritize. And that is information you can use to protect your energy and focus. Building standards is also about clarity in your relationships. It's about defining how you allow others to treat you, what behaviors you accept, and what actions are off limits. Standards protect your emotional energy, your peace of mind, and your focus. Without clear standards, you leave yourself exposed to manipulation, unnecessary stress, and situations that drain your potential. With strong standards, you create a life where interactions are intentional, meaningful, and aligned with your values. Standards influence the way you handle opportunities as well. When you know your worth and hold yourself to high standards, you are more selective about the opportunities you pursue. You don't waste time on distractions, projects that don't align with your goals, or people who drain your energy. Instead, you focus on what has the potential to create growth, success, and fulfillment. Your standards act as a compass, guiding your decisions so that every action contributes to your bigger vision. Finally, building standards is about accountability. It's about holding yourself to the level of excellence you deserve. You cannot rely on others to maintain your value or push you toward growth. You are responsible for enforcing your own standards, for taking actions that reflect your worth, and for refusing to compromise on your potential. This accountability creates confidence, it creates clarity, and most importantly, it creates the conditions for continuous growth, progress, and achievement. Protecting your value with standards is not always easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and sometimes tough decisions. But the payoff is enormous. When you hold strong standards, you create a life that reflects your true worth. You protect your energy, your focus, and your growth. You attract the right opportunities and the right people. And most importantly, you develop the confidence to keep rising, no matter what obstacles appear in your path. The journey of self-improvement and leveling up is built on these small, consistent decisions. Each time you enforce a standard, each time you protect your value, you are taking another step toward the life you deserve. It is not a one-time action. It is a lifestyle of respect, discipline, and intentional growth that ensures you never settle for less than what you are capable of achieving. Chapter 4. Say no to what doesn't serve your future. Every choice you make shapes your future. Each yes or no is a seed planted, and the life you live tomorrow is the harvest of what you allow today. Saying no isn't about being negative or rejecting people. It is about protecting the direction of your life, safeguarding your energy, and keeping your focus on what truly matters. The reality is that not everything, not every opportunity, and not every person will serve the path you are on. Recognizing this and saying no is one of the most powerful actions you can take for yourself. Life constantly presents distractions. It presents situations that seem urgent, relationships that seem necessary, and opportunities that seem appealing. Without careful thought, these can pull you away from the actions that matter most. Saying no requires awareness and discipline. It requires the ability to evaluate what aligns with your values, your goals, and your growth, and what does not. The people who are serious about achieving more understand this and protect their future with firm, consistent boundaries. Saying no often comes with discomfort. You might worry about how others will perceive you. You might feel guilty for refusing requests or declining invitations. But here's the truth. Discomfort is temporary, and the cost of saying yes to things that don't serve your future is permanent. Every yes to something that does not align with your purpose drains your energy, steals time, and delays your progress. Each no, on the other hand, strengthens your control over your life and your ability to focus on what matters. It is also about long-term thinking. Many people are trapped in the short-term mindset, reacting to every demand and opportunity without considering the bigger picture. Saying no is a way to prioritize your future over immediate gratification. It means protecting the hours of your day for work, growth, and experiences that truly push you forward. It means refusing to allow someone else's priorities to become your life's priorities. The discipline to say no becomes a tool for creating the life you want, rather than living the life others want for you. Saying no is an act of self-respect. It communicates that your time, your energy, and your dreams are valuable. When you consistently say no to what does not serve your purpose, you develop confidence and clarity. You no longer feel obligated to please everyone. You no longer sacrifice your potential for temporary approval. Instead, you focus your resources, your attention, energy, and effort on the actions and people that uplift you and support your growth. This principle applies to relationships, work, and personal habits. In relationships, saying no might mean refusing to engage with people who are consistently negative, draining, or unsupportive. In work, it may mean turning down tasks that waste your time or distract you from more meaningful projects. In personal habits, it means rejecting patterns that reduce your energy, harm your health, or prevent you from growing. Each refusal strengthens your life by keeping your attention on what truly matters. Learning to say no also requires confidence in your own vision. Many people hesitate because they doubt whether their goals are important enough to protect. They worry about missing out or being judged. But protecting your future is not selfish, it is necessary. Your goals, your growth, and your potential deserve defense. Every time you say no to what does not serve your future, you reinforce your commitment to your dreams and prove to yourself that your priorities matter more than anyone else's opinions. Saying no is a skill. It requires practice, patience, and clarity. At first, it might feel awkward or uncomfortable. You might feel guilt or fear, but as you practice, it becomes easier. You start to see the benefits immediately: more focus, more energy, and faster progress. Your actions become intentional, aligned with your goals, and free from the weight of unnecessary distractions. You start to notice that the world respects clarity and decisiveness. People may not always like your no, but they recognize its power. It's also important to say no internally. Often, we say yes to our own doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs. We allow thoughts like "I'm not ready" or "I can't do this" to control our decisions. Saying no to these internal barriers is as critical as saying no to external distractions. By refusing to accept thoughts and beliefs that do not serve your future, you free yourself to take decisive actions that push you closer to your goals. Your inner dialogue shapes your outer results, and mastering it is essential to leveling up. Every no is a step toward freedom. Every refusal to engage with what does not serve your growth is not a step closer to becoming the person you are capable of being. It is how leaders, creators, and successful people protect their lives and their futures. They do not react to every demand or temptation. They are deliberate, they are intentional, and they say no when necessary, even when it is uncomfortable, because they understand that a focused life always produces better results than a distracted one. When you adopt the habit of saying no to what does not serve your future, life begins to change. You begin to notice that opportunities that truly align with your goals come faster and more clearly. You feel less drained, more energized, and more confident in the decisions you make. You experience a sense of control that comes from living intentionally rather than reacting passively. And the best part is that this clarity, this focus, this intentionality becomes a habit that compounds over time, leading to growth, success, and fulfillment that would have been impossible otherwise. Chapter 5. Invest in your health, mind, and spirit. Your body, your mind, and your spirit are the foundation of everything you do. Without investing in these areas, everything else you try to achieve becomes far more difficult. Too many people neglect themselves, thinking that growth comes solely from work, effort, or strategy. But the truth is, your energy, your clarity, and your resilience all come from how well you maintain your health, nurture your mind, and feed your spirit. Investing in yourself in these three areas is not optional. It is essential. Your physical health is the engine that powers your life. If your body is weak, tired, or unhealthy, your ability to perform, focus, and grow is limited. Investing in your health means making conscious choices every day about nutrition, movement, and rest. It is more than just exercise or dieting. It is about creating a lifestyle that supports your energy, stamina, and longevity. A strong body allows you to face challenges with confidence. It allows you to work harder, recover faster, and enjoy the rewards of your efforts without being held back by fatigue or illness. Equally important is your mental health. Your mind is your most powerful tool, and it must be maintained, sharpened, and protected. Many people fill their minds with noise, distractions, and negativity, and then wonder why progress feels slow or impossible. Investing in your mind means seeking knowledge, thinking critically, and surrounding yourself with ideas that elevate you. It means avoiding mental clutter and toxic influences that drain your focus and creativity. Reading, learning, and engaging with content that stretches your thinking are not just activities. They are investments in the quality of every decision you will ever make. Your spirit, your inner self, is the guide that keeps your life aligned with purpose and meaning. Neglecting your spirit leads to emptiness, even if you achieve wealth or success. Feeding your spirit means spending time reflecting, being mindful, and connecting with your deeper values. It can be through prayer, meditation, journaling, or any practice that allows you to center yourself and find clarity in the midst of life's chaos. When your spirit is nurtured, you gain the strength to persevere through challenges, make tough decisions, and maintain integrity even when it is difficult. Investing in your health, mind, and spirit is not a one-time effort. It is a daily commitment. Every choice matters. What you eat, how you move, the information you consume, the people you spend time with, and the moments you dedicate to reflection all add up. Over time, these small, intentional investments compound into strength, wisdom, and resilience that support every goal you pursue. They allow you to rise above mediocrity and perform at your best, no matter the challenges you face. Many people underestimate the connection between these three areas. They focus only on financial success or career advancement, ignoring the fact that without health, clarity, and purpose, those achievements are hollow or unsustainable. When you invest in yourself fully, body, mind, and spirit, you create a powerful foundation that supports everything else. You develop the energy to work harder, the wisdom to make better choices, and the inner peace to stay motivated when life tests you. This investment also includes the courage to say no to what harms you. Junk food, unhealthy habits, negative media, draining relationships, and distractions all take away from your energy, focus, and growth. Every time you reject what does not serve your body, mind, or spirit, you reinforce your commitment to your future. You create space for habits, routines, and experiences that build strength, wisdom, and purpose. Health, mind, and spirit also feed one another. A healthy body improves your mental clarity. A sharp mind enhances your ability to make wise decisions. A nurtured spirit gives you resilience and balance. Neglecting any one of these areas creates imbalance and limits your potential. Investing in all three creates synergy, allowing you to perform at your peak, enjoy life more fully, and tackle challenges with confidence. Many people wait for crises before they invest in themselves. They wait until they are tired, sick, or burned out. Waiting is costly. The earlier you commit to investing in your body, mind, and spirit, the greater the rewards over time. Habits that support your health, learning, and inner balance compound. They give you the energy to pursue goals, the wisdom to navigate challenges, and the resilience to endure setbacks. Every high achiever understands this principle. They do not just work harder, they work smarter by maintaining their physical vitality, sharpening their mental acuity, and nurturing their inner strength. They know that their best performance, creativity, and decision-making come when all three areas are in balance. Investing in yourself in these ways is not indulgent. It is strategic. It is how you maximize your potential and ensure that you can keep leveling up without burning out. Ultimately, this investment is an act of self-love. When you care for your body, feed your mind, and nurture your spirit, you are sending a message to yourself and the world that you are worth the effort. You are preparing yourself to handle opportunities, challenges, and responsibilities with confidence and energy. You are creating a foundation that allows you to pursue growth, success, and fulfillment without compromise. Every day presents choices to invest or neglect. Every meal, every conversation, every moment of focus, every minute spent in reflection is an opportunity to strengthen your foundation. When you choose to invest in your health, mind, and spirit consistently, you are making the decision to become the strongest, clearest, and most resilient version of yourself. This is how you ensure that your future is not limited by energy deficits, unclear thinking, or lack of purpose. Chapter 6. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. Discipline is the backbone of every successful life. Without it, dreams remain just ideas, and potential never becomes achievement. Discipline is not about punishment or rigidity. It is about control over your own actions, focus on your priorities, and respect for yourself. When you discipline yourself, you are telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that your goals and your time are valuable. It is one of the clearest ways to demonstrate self-respect, because it proves that you are willing to do what it takes to live the life you want. Many people confuse discipline. They wait for inspiration, hoping that one day they will feel driven enough to take action. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, however, is consistent. Discipline shows up every day, regardless of how you feel. It is what allows you to stick to your routines, maintain your focus, and continue moving forward, even when the excitement fades or when obstacles appear. Without discipline, even the best intentions fade under pressure or distractions. Discipline is also about making choices that honor your future over your immediate comfort. Every day, you are faced with decisions, some small, some large, that determine the trajectory of your life. Choosing to work on your goals instead of giving in to distraction, choosing healthy habits instead of indulgence, choosing focus instead of chaos, all of these are acts of discipline. Each choice compounds over time. The small sacrifices you make now lead to significant rewards later. The strength of your discipline determines the height of your achievement. When you discipline yourself, you build confidence. Every time you follow through on what you say you will do, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of control and consistency. This is where self-respect is cultivated. People who are undisciplined often live in frustration, watching time slip by, feeling powerless, and doubting their ability to achieve anything meaningful. Discipline gives you power over yourself. It allows you to take control of your life and shape it intentionally. Discipline is also freedom. It may sound contradictory, but the more disciplined you are, the more freedom you create for yourself. By consistently practicing self-control, you prevent chaos from taking over. You gain clarity in your goals, focus in your actions, and efficiency in your routines. This creates space for creativity, growth, and enjoyment without the burden of regret or wasted time. People who lack discipline often feel trapped by their own impulses. Those who practice discipline experience life with more control, peace, and satisfaction. Building discipline requires awareness, patience, and repetition. It starts with small, consistent habits. You cannot transform your life overnight, but you can transform your daily routines. Choose one area where discipline is lacking. Maybe it is your work, your health, your finances, or your time management, and commit to consistent action. Repeat the actions every day. Make them non-negotiable. Over time, these small acts accumulate, creating momentum that carries you toward your bigger goals. Discipline compounds. One consistent day leads to a consistent week, month, and year. Discipline is also about resisting. Life is full of distractions, excuses, and easy choices that do not serve your goals. Practicing discipline means saying no to what is convenient or pleasurable now, but harmful later. It is the willingness to endure short-term discomfort for long-term gain. Every time you choose to prioritize your future over temporary satisfaction, you strengthen your self-respect and prove to yourself that you are committed to your growth. Another powerful aspect of discipline is that it influences every area of life. When you practice discipline in one area, it often spills over into others. Discipline in your daily routines makes it easier to maintain focus in work. Discipline in your health allows you to perform better mentally and physically. Discipline in relationships helps you show up as a consistent and reliable partner, friend, or family member. The ripple effect is remarkable. Discipline is a foundational skill that multiplies across all dimensions of life. Discipline also builds resilience. Life will test you. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable. Without discipline, these moments can knock you off course. With discipline, you can endure. You can continue to take the right actions even when it is uncomfortable, difficult, or discouraging. It strengthens your character. It teaches you perseverance. It demonstrates that you value yourself and your potential more than temporary discomfort. Resilience born from discipline allows you to rise higher each time life tries to push you down. Perhaps the most important reason discipline is the highest form of knight. Self-respect is that it aligns your actions with your values. Respect for yourself is not just a feeling. It is shown through choices. When you act in a way that honors your time, your energy, and your goals, you demonstrate respect for the person you are becoming. Discipline is the daily evidence of that respect. Every action taken with purpose and consistency is proof that you value yourself and your potential enough to invest in it fully. Finally, discipline is a practice of freedom, growth, and integrity. It is how you prove to yourself that your words and intentions matter. It is how you take responsibility for your life. It is how you show that your dreams are worth the effort and that you are capable of achieving them. Every step of discipline, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you deserve. It is the commitment to show up for yourself each day and live intentionally rather than reactively. Chapter 7. Walk away from people who hold you back. Chapter 7. Walk away from people who hold you back. Life is too short to spend time around people who drain your energy, diminish your confidence, or hold you back from reaching your potential. Some people will try to keep you small because it makes them feel comfortable, secure, or in control. Others may simply be negative, jealous, or distracted by their own limitations. Whatever the reason, staying in the company of those who do not support your growth will slow you down, cloud your vision, and make it harder to achieve your goals. Walking away is not about anger or pride. It is about self-respect and clarity. Recognizing the people who hold you back is the first step. They might be friends who constantly complain, colleagues who spread negativity, or family members who discourage your ambitions. They might not even be intentionally harmful, but their mindset, behavior, and influence can subtly prevent you from moving forward. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions with certain people. If you consistently feel drained, discouraged, or doubtful about yourself, that is a sign of influence that is not serving you. Awareness is essential because you cannot protect your growth if you do not first acknowledge the obstacles around you. Walking away is often uncomfortable. People you are used to may feel offended or hurt. There may be guilt, fear, or pressure to stay, but growth requires courage. Choosing to prioritize your future over temporary comfort is an act of responsibility. It is choosing the life you deserve over the expectations, opinions, or limitations of others. People who hold you back will always try to pull you into their world of stagnation or negativity. You cannot allow their inertia to slow your momentum. Leaving them behind is not rejection. It is a commitment to yourself. Walking away also sets a standard for how you allow others to treat you. It is a message that your time, energy, and goals are valuable. When you stop accepting relationships or interactions that drain you, you create space for people who encourage, inspire, and challenge you positively. Surrounding yourself with growth-oriented, supportive, and motivated people is essential. These are the individuals who push you to level up, celebrate your wins, and hold you accountable. Life is a reflection of the people you spend the most time with, so making this conscious choice directly impacts your success and happiness. Many people fear loneliness, thinking that staying in relationships, even harmful ones, is better than being alone. But temporary companionship that undermines your growth is far worse than solitude. Walking away from people who hold you back is not just about avoiding negative influence. It is about creating room for meaningful connections. It is about finding relationships that elevate you, challenge you to be better, and align with the life you want to build. Solitude can be a powerful tool when it is used to focus on your growth, goals, and self-improvement. Walking away is also about clarity and focus. Every moment spent engaging with people who do not support your vision is time taken away from the actions that move you forward. When you cut ties with those who drain your energy, you free yourself to dedicate time, effort, and attention to the people, projects, and habits that truly matter. This creates a momentum that allows you to progress faster, think clearer, and make decisions without distraction or emotional clutter. Growth requires this clarity. Without it, you risk being pulled in multiple directions and losing sight of your goals. This process also teaches you valuable lessons in boundaries. Setting limits is not selfish. It is necessary for growth. By walking away, you reinforce the idea that your ambitions and well-being are non-negotiable. You cannot let others' opinions, fears, or negativity dictate your choices. Boundaries protect your energy and your focus, which are among your most valuable resources. Every act of walking away, saying no, or limiting exposure to those who do not serve your growth reinforces your ability to act intentionally rather than reactively. Walking away is often accompanied by resistance, sometimes internal, sometimes external. You may question your decision, wonder if you are being too harsh, or feel fear of judgment. These feelings are natural. Growth always comes with discomfort. The key is to focus on your long-term potential rather than short-term discomfort. The people, situations, and habits you leave behind will pale in comparison to the opportunities, clarity, and progress you gain by choosing yourself. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of it. The benefits of walking away extend far beyond your immediate environment. When you remove yourself from negative influence, you become more intentional in every area of life. Your decisions improve, your confidence strengthens, and your energy aligns with your goals. Walking away does not mean burning bridges unnecessarily. It means redirecting your energy toward relationships and experiences that uplift, challenge, and motivate you. This creates a positive cycle where growth attracts growth, opportunity attracts opportunity, and progress becomes inevitable. One of the most empowering aspects of this practice is self-ownership. Walking away is a choice that no one can take from you. It demonstrates that you are willing to protect yourself, value your time, and pursue your potential relentlessly. It shows that you understand the influence people have on your mindset, habits, and results, and you are unwilling to allow anyone to limit you. This sense of control over your life is liberating, and it fuels the confidence to continue leveling up no matter what challenge. Walking away does not mean you are unkind or unsympathetic. It simply means you recognize that growth requires separation from what no longer serves you. Every person who leaves your life for the better, every distraction eliminated, and every toxic influence removed creates space for opportunities and relationships that align with your highest self. Over time, this intentional distancing builds a circle of influence that mirrors your ambition, values, and potential. Ultimately, walking away from people who hold you back is a commitment to yourself. It is proof that you value your time, energy, and potential. It is an acknowledgement that your life is too important to waste on negativity or limitation. Every step taken to remove yourself from harmful influences strengthens your self-respect, sharpens your focus, and brings you closer to the life you are capable of creating. You cannot control others, but you can control who and what you allow into your life. And that choice will determine your growth more than anything else. Chapter 8. Surround yourself with growth, not comfort. The people, environment, and experiences you surround yourself with have an immense impact on who you become. Comfort is easy, but it rarely leads to growth. When you settle into ease and avoid challenges, your potential remains dormant. True progress comes when you intentionally place yourself in environments that push you, challenge you, and expand your capacity. Growth requires discomfort because it demands effort, learning, and adaptation. The more you surround yourself with growth-oriented influences, the faster you evolve into the person capable of achieving your biggest goals. It begins with understanding the difference between comfort and growth. Comfort is safe, predictable, and familiar. It feels good in the moment, but often keeps you stagnant. Growth, on the other hand, is uncomfortable, uncertain, and demanding. It asks more from you than you are used to giving. It challenges your beliefs, habits, and mindset. Choosing growth over comfort is not always pleasant in the short term, but it is essential if you want to reach new levels of success and fulfillment. The people you spend time with often determine whether you lean toward comfort or growth. Surrounding yourself with growth-oriented people is crucial because their mindset, habits, and energy will influence you more than you realize. When you are around people who challenge you, push you to do better, and hold high standards for themselves and others, you naturally begin to raise your own standards. Their discipline, focus, and ambition become contagious. Conversations become deeper, perspectives expand, and your ideas about what is possible grow larger. Growth is rarely achieved alone. It is accelerated when you learn from and alongside others who are committed to improving themselves. Comfort often comes in the form of relationships, routines, and environments that feel easy but limit your potential. Friends who discourage your ambition, workplaces that offer no challenge, or daily habits that feel convenient but unproductive all create invisible barriers. Choosing growth means being willing to step away from these familiar but limiting influences. It may mean leaving social circles that keep you small, changing your daily routine to include more productive habits, or seeking new environments that demand more from you. These choices may feel uncomfortable at first, but they are essential for progress. Creating a growth-focused environment also requires conscious curation of what you consume. The books you read, the media you watch, and the ideas you engage with shape your mindset. Surround yourself with knowledge, inspiration, and lessons that stretch your thinking and broaden your perspective. Limit exposure to negativity, gossip, and complacency. By intentionally selecting what you allow into your mind, you set a standard for the level of personal and professional growth you are willing to accept. Over time, this shapes your worldview, decisions, and actions in ways that elevate your life. Growth-oriented people do not just inspire, they also challenge you. They provide accountability and feedback that push you to be better. They celebrate your wins, but do not let you become complacent. They expect consistency, effort, and integrity. Being around these individuals can be uncomfortable because it exposes weaknesses and gaps in your discipline or knowledge, but it is this discomfort that creates real change. When you choose to remain in environments that prioritize growth over comfort, you train yourself to handle challenges, adapt, and push beyond your limits. Comfort, while familiar, is deceptive. It often masks fear, procrastination, and resistance to change. You may feel safe staying in a routine or sticking with people who do not challenge you. But in reality, comfort is a subtle form of stagnation. Growth demands courage, focus, and persistence. By intentionally seeking out challenges, embracing new experiences, and surrounding yourself with ambitious, motivated people, you begin to create momentum that accelerates your personal and professional development. Growth becomes a habit rather than a fleeting effort. Your environment also includes the spaces you occupy daily. Surrounding yourself with growth means organizing your time and space to support your ambitions. Your workspace, home, and routines should encourage productivity, learning, and focus. Clutter, distractions, and environments that promote passivity or comfort can subtly undermine your efforts. The structure of your daily life shapes your habits, mindset, and results. Prioritizing growth in your environment allows you to align your actions with your goals and makes discipline and progress easier to maintain. Growth also requires challenging your comfort zones regularly. Surrounding yourself with people and experiences that stretch your abilities forces you to adapt, learn, and develop resilience. This discomfort is not a punishment. It is a tool for transformation. Each step outside of your comfort zone builds confidence, skill, and capacity. By intentionally seeking, you cultivate the mindset of someone who is capable of handling anything that comes their way. Growth is a continuous process, and your environment determines how quickly and effectively that process unfolds. Finally, surrounding yourself with growth-oriented influences is an investment in your future self. Every decision about the people you spend time with, the habits you adopt, and the environments you choose creates a trajectory for your life. When growth becomes the priority, you begin to attract opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your vision. You learn faster, act more decisively, and maintain a high level of focus and discipline. Comfort may feel easy today, but growth is what shapes your tomorrow. Choosing growth over comfort is choosing the life you deserve. Chapter 9. Believe you're worth the work. it takes to succeed. Belief in yourself is the most critical ingredient in achieving success. Without it, no amount of talent, resources, or opportunity will take you very far. Believing you are worth the work it takes to succeed is not about arrogance or entitlement. It is about understanding your value, recognizing your potential, and committing to putting in the effort required to reach it. Every accomplishment in life begins with a decision that you are worth the time, discipline, and energy needed to achieve it. Many people underestimate themselves because they compare their journey to others. They look at someone else's success and feel discouraged, thinking they are not capable. The truth is that success is not about comparing yourself. It is about fully committing to your own path. Believing in your worth means embracing the idea that your goals, dreams, and potential are legitimate. You have the right to pursue excellence, to challenge yourself, and to invest in your growth without apology. That belief is what fuels persistence, resilience, and courage when the path becomes difficult. Belief in your worth also means valuing your time and energy. You cannot expect to achieve extraordinary results if you treat yourself as if you do not deserve them. It begins with the small choices you make every day, how you spend your time, what habits you adopt, and the standards you hold yourself to. If you truly believe you are worth the work, you make choices that align with that belief. You prioritize your growth, refuse to settle for mediocrity, and consistently invest in the activities that will move you forward. This belief also transforms the way you approach challenges. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are inevitable. But when you truly believe in your worth, you see these challenges as opportunities rather than reasons to quit. You understand that every difficult experience is a step toward building the person capable of handling the life you want. Believing in your value gives you the mindset to endure long hours, tackle tough problems, and persevere when others give up. It turns hard work into a meaningful pursuit rather than a burden. Believing you are worth the work also influences how you surround yourself. When you recognize your value, you naturally seek out environments, mentors, and relationships that match it. You distance yourself from people who drain your energy or diminish your confidence. You gravitate toward individuals who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. Your belief in your worth becomes a filter that determines what you allow into your life. Every decision then becomes aligned with growth and progress, and your momentum accelerates. Discipline is a natural extension of believing in your worth. You cannot achieve significant goals without consistent effort, and consistent effort requires self-discipline. When you see yourself as worthy of success, discipline becomes less of a chore and more of an investment in yourself. You understand that every task completed, every habit formed, and every moment spent wisely contributes to your ultimate vision. The belief in your worth transforms ordinary actions into purposeful steps toward greatness. Believing in your worth is also about setting standards and boundaries. You do not allow others to define your potential or dictate your path. You refuse to settle for less than you deserve, whether in relationships, career opportunities, or personal development. This belief creates confidence and clarity in your decisions. You understand that your time, energy, and focus are valuable, and you protect them diligently. Boundaries and standards are not restrictive. They are a reflection of your commitment to growth and success. Every action you take, every choice you make, is amplified by your belief in your worth. When you operate from this mindset, effort is purposeful, challenges are embraced, and results are achieved more efficiently. You stop procrastinating, second-guessing, or undervaluing yourself. The belief in your worth fuels initiative, persistence, and resilience. It is the engine that drives you forward even when motivation is low or the path seems unclear. This is why believing in yourself is not optional. It is essential for achieving lasting success. Belief in your worth also impacts your mental and emotional resilience. Life will inevitably throw obstacles, criticism, and doubt in your way. But when you are anchored in the conviction that you deserve success and are willing to do the work, You can weather these storms without losing confidence. You maintain focus on your vision and refuse to let external negativity dictate your actions. Your self-belief becomes your shield, allowing you to remain steady, persistent, and determined, even when circumstances are challenging. Ultimately, believing you are worth the work it takes to succeed is a daily choice. Every morning, you reaffirm that your dreams, goals, and potential are valid. Every day, you take actions that reflect that belief, no matter how small. Every challenge you face, you confront with the mindset that your effort is meaningful and necessary. This belief creates a momentum that compounds over time. It transforms ordinary people into achievers, hesitant attempts into consistent progress, and potential into reality. Today, success is never accidental. It requires intention, focus, and above all, a belief that you are capable and worthy of the effort required. The moment you fully embrace your worth, everything changes. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You develop resilience where others give up. You take responsibility for your growth and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Believing in yourself is the most powerful investment you can make because it determines how consistently you show up, how boldly you act, and how far you are willing to go. Believing you are worth the work also inspires those around you. Your confidence, discipline, and commitment set a standard for others to follow. You become a source of motivation, not because you boast or demand attention, but because your actions reflect unwavering self-respect and dedication. This energy attracts opportunities, partnerships, and experiences that align with your growth. The stronger your belief in your worth, the greater the impact you can have on your own life and on the lives of others. Every accomplishment, every level of success, and every breakthrough begins with the decision to believe that you are worth it. Without that belief, effort feels forced, goals seem distant, and motivation fades. With that belief, even the most difficult tasks become manageable, setbacks become lessons, and long-term vision becomes achievable. Believing in your worth is the foundation upon which all growth, achievement, and fulfillment are built. It is the mindset that transforms potential into reality. Chapter 10, keep leveling up because you owe it to yourself. Life is a journey, and the moment you stop improving, learning, and growing, you begin to drift. Leveling up is not about competition with others. It is about continuous self-improvement and honoring your potential. Every day offers an opportunity to raise your standards, expand your abilities, and move closer to the life you envision. You owe it to yourself to take advantage of each of these moments because they will not come again. Complacency is easy, but it ensures stagnation. Growth, though challenging, brings fulfillment, achievement, and purpose. Leveling up begins with a mindset of ownership. You are responsible for the quality of your life, the habits you form, and the choices you make. Waiting for someone else to push you, guide you, or create opportunities for you will only delay your progress. Taking personal responsibility for your growth allows you to act with clarity, purpose, and persistence. It means holding yourself accountable to the goals you set and refusing to accept excuses or distractions that prevent you from achieving them. This mindset alone separates those who make real progress from those who settle. Every level you reach demands a new set of skills, habits, and perspectives. The challenges that brought you to your current point will not be enough to take you further. You must actively seek new knowledge, refine your skills, and stretch your capabilities. Leveling up requires stepping out of the familiar and embracing what is uncomfortable. Growth is not passive. It requires intentional effort, consistent learning, and relentless application. You owe it to yourself to rise to these challenges because the person you are becoming is worth the effort. The path of continual improvement also demands resilience. You will encounter setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. Leveling up is not about avoiding these difficulties. It is about learning to navigate them with confidence and determination. Every obstacle becomes a lesson, every failure a teacher, and every challenge an opportunity to build strength and skill. By persevering through difficulty, you develop the resilience necessary to handle greater responsibilities, larger goals, and more significant successes. This is why the pursuit of growth is never wasted, even when the results are not immediate. Investing in yourself is at the core of leveling up. Your time, energy, and resources are valuable, and how you spend them determines the trajectory of your life. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every effort you make to improve yourself compounds over time. Success does not happen overnight, but consistent, focused investment in your growth creates momentum that becomes unstoppable. You owe it to yourself to commit fully to this process, because the dividends are not just financial or professional. They are personal, emotional, and spiritual as well. Leveling up also requires a shift in your associations and environment. Surrounding yourself with people who are committed to growth challenges you to raise your own standards. The energy, mindset, and habits of those around you influence your actions more than you may realize. When you engage with growth-oriented individuals, you are inspired to push harder, think bigger, and act more decisively. Your environment should fuel your ambition rather than hinder it. You owe it to yourself to create a space that supports your evolution and reinforces the values, habits, and mindset needed to progress. Discipline remains the cornerstone of continual growth. Without it, the intention to level up remains just a wish. Every day presents opportunities to practice discipline through routines, habits, time management, and self-control. Discipline is not restrictive. It is liberating. It allows you to consistently do what matters, resist distractions, and take actions that produce meaningful results. When you commit to discipline, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you are capable of following through, and that trust fuels further progress. Leveling up without discipline is impossible because growth requires consistent effort, even when motivation wanes. The process of leveling up also requires vision. You must have a clear understanding of the life you want, the person you want to become, and the impact you want to make. Vision provides direction and purpose. It allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters and avoid distractions that offer temporary satisfaction but no lasting value. Without vision, effort becomes scattered and progress slow. You owe it to yourself to define what success means to you personally and to take deliberate steps toward that vision every single day. Celebrating milestones is important, but it should never stop your momentum. Every level you reach is an achievement, but it is also a stepping stone. Each accomplishment is proof of what you are capable of, and it should inspire you to continue moving forward. The satisfaction of progress fuels motivation, but the commitment to continuous improvement ensures long-term success. You owe it to yourself to recognize your wins while maintaining the hunger to grow even further. Finally, leveling up is about living with purpose. Life is not meant to be stagnant, reactive, or aimless. It is meant to be lived intentionally, with focus, passion, and a commitment to becoming your best self. You owe it to yourself to rise above excuses, fear, and complacency. You owe it to yourself to take control of your journey, to push beyond limitations, and to embrace the challenges that cultivate growth. Every step toward improvement, every skill developed, every habit formed brings you closer to the life you are capable of living. Leveling up is a choice you make daily. Every morning presents a new opportunity to improve, grow, and move closer to your goals. It requires dedication, focus, and persistence. It requires believing in your worth, embracing challenges, and committing to consistent action. You owe it to yourself to never settle, to always aim higher, and to keep striving for more. Life rewards those who invest in themselves, who push past comfort, and who refuse to accept anything less than their full potential. The journey of growth is ongoing, and your commitment to it determines the success, fulfillment, and legacy you leave behind. As this message comes to a close, remember that growth is not a one-time event. It is a daily commitment, a choice you make every morning to show up stronger, wiser, and more focused than the day before. You owe it to yourself to never settle for less than your full potential. Loving yourself enough to level up means protecting your time, investing in your growth, walking away from what holds you back, and embracing the work required to become the person you were meant to be. The journey will not always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and challenges that seem impossible. But each of those moments is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are capable, resilient, and deserving of success. Every decision you make, no matter how small, builds the foundation for a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. When you commit to yourself fully, the results will follow. Remember, the most valuable asset you have is you. Your thoughts, your habits, your discipline, and the respect you give yourself will determine the quality of your life. Keep investing in yourself. Keep leveling up. Keep showing the world and yourself what you are truly capable of. Do not wait for someone else to give you permission or validation. You have everything inside you to rise, to grow, and to live the life you deserve. The choice is yours, and the moment is now. Love yourself enough to take action. Love yourself enough to demand more from life. Love yourself enough to level up, because you owe it to no one else but yourself. Your journey does not end here. It begins anew every day. Commit to it, honor it, and watch as your life transforms beyond anything you ever imagined.